calling you Abdvari. So let's just recap quickly what we're talking about, and we're going to try to simplify this as much as possible. So the main topic of our discussion is what happens in Rosh Hashanah. It says in the Zohar, Malchus goes upwards, is concealed. Sihara, the moon is miskases, is concealed. That's akese. It is concealed. Begashmius, the moon is concealed, and Beruchnius, Malchus goes up to its source. Now, the Zohar quotes the Gemara in Chagiga, and it says to which level does Malchus go up towards? It says it goes up to a level where the Gemara says, Mechuse mimcha al tachkor. So this is our subject. Let's understand this. What exactly is this level that Malchus goes upwards to? It's called Mechuse mimcha al tachkor. So we bring the Gemara. The Gemara says there's two dargas. There's B'mufle mimcha al tidroish, and then there's a higher level of Mechusa Michal Tachkar. Now, Chevra, if you just help me out, does everybody remember what we discussed? Anybody remember what we discussed last week about the difference between Mufle and Mechusa? You can say no. I'll say it if you want to remember what it was. Okay. No. Okay. So we started saying that Mufle and Mechusa, both of them mean something which is far away. Mufle means it's wondrous. Mechusa means it's covered. It's a level which is beyond our reach. So we said in godliness there are two levels above our reach. One is we call it in the level of keser. Keser is the crown above Atzilus. In the crown there's the pnimius of the crown, which is a level called atik or the etzem. That is a higher level of Mechusa, and that is that. By the way, I'll save you a lot of weeks of learning. If you wanted me to say it in one line, the level where Malchus goes up to on Rosh Hashanah is the level of Mechuseh, which is the level of Atik, which is the highest level. But to understand this, it's not just saying words. We're trying to understand Ruchnius. We're trying to understand how the Eibishter works, how Hashem works. So the lower level is what's called the Chitzonius of Keser, which is called Arich, where the level of Mufle is. Now we're really zooming in on Mufle, right? We discussed last week. You were telling me, you remind me of your first name?
Sasson.
Sasson is your first name, or? Yeah. So Sasson was saying last week, we say hafachba v'hafachba. You remember? The chulava. You have a level of Torah which is accessible, which is called memale, called olmin, which is a level where you're able to understand, you're able to comprehend, and it's very easy to get. Okay? Then we have a higher level called Soivev. Soivev is what we're calling Mufle. Now, why are we calling Soivev Mufle? Because it's got two components. On the one hand, there is a relationship to the lower level, but on the other hand, it is much higher. So what does that mean? Right? So does everybody remember what we said? What's the difference between Soivev and Mamali? Mamali Kalaman is Hashem's light that indresses itself into the world. Your neshama in your guf. Hashem's chayus in the world, causing everything to exist. Sovev Kalaman is the level of Hashem, which encompassing the world, doesn't dress in the world, and remains a little bit higher than the world's, correct? So this level of Soivev, we said, is the level of Mufle. Why? Because from a Malay, you can understand this level. Okay? But on the other hand, you can never really get it. So we spoke about what's called Yediyat HaChiyuv, Yediyat HaShlila. Yediyat HaChiyuv, Yediyat HaShlila. What is the difference between these two things? I hope it's okay that I'm talking a lot over here. I'm just trying to get back into it.
The opposite.
Yediyat HaChiyuv is something I can say, Zeh. This is what it is. You know what this book is? It's a brown thing with pieces of paper inside of it. I'm telling you actively, Yediyat HaChiyuv, pointing what it is. Ken, Zeh, you can say what it is. Point what it is, accurately describe its entity. That is called Yediyat HaChiyuv. That is only b'memale kol olmin. It's only possible to actively describe a level of godliness which is relatable to us. But Sovev Kolobin is called the Diata Shliyai. Diata Shliyai is something I don't know what it is. Imagine something's boxed in a box, right? There's something in a box. You don't know what's inside.
Feeding.
You don't know what's inside. It's hidden. Can I tell you what's inside? Can I tell you what it is inside there? No, because I don't know what it is. I can't do Yediat HaChiyuv, because I can't say Zeh. But you know what I can tell you? I can see its size, right? So I can tell you, listen, it's not a car. אני יכול לשלול דברים. I can say what it's not. It's not relatable, but there is some form of relation. I see its size. This is Sovev Kolamin, where there's some relationship, but it's removed. So let's talk about it in Elikus. In Mamali Kolamin, there's Chochma. The Hashem's Chochma, I can say what it is. Uchacham. I understand what the Chochma is. We have Chochma, the Baraka Mavrik. We know exactly what it is. But Sovev Kolamin, it is so much higher, I can't tell you what it is. The same Chachma, no, it's not the Chachma. But you know what I can tell you? I can tell you a thing, he's not stupid. Hashem, when he's Sovev Kolamin, אני לא יודע מה החוכמה שלו, אבל אני כן יודע שהוא לא טיפש. So that is the lower level of Mufle. That is what we discussed last week. We are now up to Daf Dalid in the new prints. Chevra, I just want to say one thing is I want to get feedback. If this is too intense, if it's not too intense, if it's good, if it's not good, let me know, please.
It's very good so far.
Baruch Hashem. Okay. Says that the Rebbe Rasha, because who b'chinas chitzonius hakeser. This level of mufle of sovev kololmin is only in the chitzonius of keser. The level of chitzonius hakeser is above ishtal. Hello, shalom aleichem. מכל מקום, יש לזה שייכות להשתלשלות כנוידע, ולכן הרי זה נוידע בעולם יש בבחינת הבנת דבר מתוך דבר, שיש בבחינת ארץ סוף המופלא ומובדל מהם, ונוידע אופן ההפלא על ידי הארץ המסגל משום שיש לו שייכות להם וכולו. This is exactly what we said. The level of Sovev Kolomin, we're on top of Daf Daled, the level of Sovev Kolomin, it's got two components. On the one hand, you know of its existence, there is some form of relation. But on the other hand, I can't actively describe what it is. Yediyas Shlila. Exactly what we said. Okay? V'zeu debchinas hakeser nikras hu. Right? We just spoke about ze and hu. So Yediyas Keser is called hu. Come on, Baruch hu. What's hu? The Hainu. Shenoida metziyusay v'loy mahusay. When I say hu means him. Did I tell you who he is? I don't know who he is. But it's very vague, right? The Mamalik is ata, this, ze, him, the whatever. In Hebrew, I don't know how it translates ata and who, but like ata, lenocha. Even though who is only not mahusay, mitzi usay is at the very least noida kabanam chulu. Because of b'chinas chisayin is a ketzer v'zeu nikreis mufle b'chulu. So I just want to reiterate is that this idea that we're saying about mufle that in Sovev Kolomin I can tell you it has a relationship, but it is removed, right? I can't tell you exactly what it is. Yediyat Shlila is only going to describe something that is related, that is able to be described. We spoke about a second ago of something's in a box. I don't know what it is. But if I see the size of the box, I can tell you, listen, it's not a car. Okay? That's Yediyat Shlila. But the Alter Rebbe gives the mashal, if something is much higher than that, let's say the Alter Rebbe's mashal is a dvar chokhmah, a seichel. It's not musag. If I tell you about the dvar seichel that it's not a car, it's true. A dvar seichel is not a car. But you're nowhere near, you're not anywhere nearer and closer to understanding what it is than when I said about the anonymous object in the box that it's not a car. Because when I say about the box, actually I'm close to understanding what it is because it's physical. right? So Sodom Kalamin, even though it's higher, it's always relatable. Okay. We're now going to go over Pratyas Inyan Mufle. So, and like I said before, this is going to be, because it's going to be a Hepsek for a few weeks, the Rebbe Rashab, the next 4 pages, is going to go very intricate. And I know, forgive me, I'm talking a lot, but I want to say this Baal Peh because, at least me, it took me a lot of good few hours and a lot of chazaras. And actually, I listened to Shiurim the first time I learned this last year to get exactly what's going on over here. So Baruch Hashem, I think I can say it over clearly, but I want to save the tircha from the olam. So I'm just going to say it a little bit about it. We're going to go a little bit more bepratis to understand. We're trying to understand now these concepts. Let's talk about it b'nefesh ha'adam. We'll go inside in a second, but let's talk about it here. Why is it everybody's nefesh has got a koach hachachma? Every koach is b'shleimus. Chas v'shalom, you have a guy who's blind. Nachman al-Islam. Does he have a koach hariyah in his nefesh?
Yes.
Yes, right? For sure, yes. Do you know why? He can have a son, and his son,
The proof is that he could moil it.
he could be moilet, the son which can see. So you see, he has the koach hariyah, but something is wrong. Just unfortunately,
The body is covering.
whatever issues there is. But it b'shleimus in the nefesh, and this is a cloud. Everybody but nefesh adam, all the koyachos are b'shleimus. Your chachma, you've got every chachma. Your bina, your das, your koyach hariyah, your everything is b'shleimus, right? But the way it comes into Revelation, that's where the differences start. So here's the thing: everybody's got a koyach chachma. So why is it that you have some people that are stupid, some people that are smart, some people that are good at music, some people that are more mathematical, scientific, good at Gemara, good at Chassidus? Where does all this come from if our Koach HaChochma is b'shaveh? In everybody, the Etzem HaNefesh, our Koach HaChochma is completely the same in its intent.
Who says that? I mean, some people have in their genes let's say, to think mathematically, and other people have in their genes not to think mathematically, like to think about human relations.
So we're going to explain where that comes from. Yeah, I'm going to.
Okay, so it's ingrained.
Yeah, it's true, absolutely, and we're going to explain where that comes from. But I'm just starting off and saying that there is a higher level. This is the starting point. There is a level in the nefesh, the etzem nefesh, yitzida, whatever you want to call it. It's called
not high.
The koychos haklulim banefesh. Whatever, not to use fancy words, but there's the koychos that we have. Your koyach hariyah, your koyach hashmiya, your koyach haseichel. Every single one of these koychos are deeply rooted in your neshama, and the way they are in the highest level, like by Esam neshama, they're all perfectly intact. Just like a blind person, right? So where does the difference come from? Yes, absolutely. So every person thinks differently. So where does it come from?
It's not everything from Hashem.
Of course, everything comes from.
We know where it's coming.
No. Everything comes from Hashem, of course, right? But you in your nefesh, your seichel, chokhmat Shlomo HaMelech, you've got his chokhmah in your etzem HaChokhmah, even higher than what he had. In your etzem HaChokhmah koyach nefesh. But now, when it comes into Revelation, what you think, you're not as smart as Shlomo HaMelech. Where does that come from? So let me explain. Let me. I'm being very vague, so I'm going to explain. There is a level, and I want to use this word. It is called Koach HaMaskil. Has everybody heard of this level before?
Maskil?
Koach HaMaskil. I'll use other terms for those that have learned more Chassidus. It's sometimes called Koach HaNela Mikol Sechel HaNela Mikol Rayon. Over here, we're going to call it the level of Chochma Shebekeser, Chochma Stima'a. All these things mean the same level. The Koach HaMaskil. Now, friends, this is a real level. And the Rebbe says, not over here, but in a different mimer, the Rebbe Rashab brings, it's Tolui in Mazal. Do you know why someone is smarter? And you have a guy who needs to work, and remember, he's not so smart, or Hashem, that's just the way Hashem made him, or this guy's good at maths, and this guy's good at this, so this family's good in this thing. Do you know why? Because it's dependent on a person's mazel. The koach hamaskil of a person is the way your chachma has traveled lower down into expression. And what it means like this is that just like in a person, you have different levels. You have the way you are to yourself, the way I think. No one knows what I'm thinking. The way I speak and the way I do myself. I'm going further away from myself, different layers. So to higher up, you have your etzem hachachma. Etzem hachachma is pure, perfect. The lower level of chachma is called the koach hamaskil. Here, already your koach hachachma is already got a tiur, a description, a definition, a tziyur. This guy's koach hachachma has now, because of his mazel is that his koach hachachma has come, and he is now koach hachachma has got more of a netiya that he's going to be good in Gemara. Oh, this guy's koach hachachma, he doesn't have the biggest IQ, right? He's going to have to more struggle. It's totally in mazel. Is everybody clear so far on what I'm saying? Yeah?
It's totally in Masal, but still, each person has something unique to him that's not anybody else.
Absolutely.
Not only say, let's say, for instance, one person has black hair, another person has blonde hair.
Right.
So the person who has black hair does not have in him the potential of blonde hair necessarily. Maybe in general,
Can he moil
No, but that's
somebody with a blonde hair?
only if he has among his antecedents somebody who had blonde hair, like his grandfather or great grandfather. But no, that's I said if there's a big word.
Yeah, but
you
that's not. We're talking about the koichos. The koichos are the spiritual strengths that you have. The color of your hair, right, is not a spiritual koach you have. It's a physical body part. The same way a human being, can't be moiled an animal, right? Because it's a physical thing. It's just like
You see outside, you see a lot of
So I'm saying the same thing basically.
the point is, I'm talking about the spiritual koachos. Your sight, your koach hariyah is a spiritual idea. It goes into the eye. It's expressed in the eye.
I don't know. It's physical. I mean, you have your eyes and they have lenses in them and have
right. But it sends a neural message to the brain to be able to see. It's a koach.
It's okay, but it's physical.
Yeah, it's a koach, which is my moving. It's physical moving.
Yeah.
Right. It is physical, but it's a koach still. My koach tunua. But the color of your hair is not a koach.
It's an
just a physical.
It's an attribute, let's say.
Yeah, it's a physical.
So why make a difference?
So that's not what I'm referring. That everything is b'shem v'shem nefesh.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If somebody has mazel, puts them in a place of different things and whatever happened, and based on his life experiences, he either sees that he has a talent with something or not. That's one part of the mazel. Or is it the mazel that Hashem made the mazel for him that he should do X, Y, Z?
Let me understand your question. You're saying what is the mazel?
Is it two different levels of mazel, or is it just a mazel that he was in the right place at the right time and he learned whatever it is that he learned, and that's why he's an expert in particular.
No, so that's not what I refer to. I realize it, if I may explain, that's what I'm
talking about.
No, I'm talking about a person before he learns. You have some kids who have a natural tendency. You have a kid who's an 8-year-old. He's just amazing at drawing. He's got chachmas hatzir. Or you have a kid at 8-year-old. He's good at instruments. It's a chachma. The Rebbe Rashab says. Even without going to you teach him lessons, he's a natural. You have some kids who you teach them something, and naturally they understand quicker than other kids. Where does this come from? That's what I'm talking about. That is Talu in Mazel, who's really in their etzem and yes, dependent on the Mazel Milamaila, whatever Mazel Hashem. Why did Hashem do the sound Mazel? I don't know. But this is the Rebbe Rashab says it's not on this mimer. It's a mimer in Yadaita. In Samach the Samach.
It's not because you're smart, because you have a mal.
Yeah, that's a Gemara.
Nothing to do with smart or not smart.
Yeah.
That's why in development they ask about how somebody was successful. Is that it's more mazel than anything else?
Yes. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So it says our mazel also affects how smart we are and to what we have a tendency towards. Everybody has something you like more. I don't know. You like one guy enjoys learning halacha more than chassidus, or more enjoys, I don't know,
music than reading.
So all this comes from the koach hamaskil, or what we're going to call in this mimer, it's called the koach mastima, or chachma shebekeser, or sechal hanela mikol rayon. Okay.
But they have another mazel. Somebody in the army 7 times they want to kill him, they couldn't kill him. So it's a mazel.
Right. This is another thing. This is another total other thing. We're talking about now. The mazel has a lot of expressions. And mazel, Hashem's, where you live and everything. We're talking about your your spiritual composition of the nefesh. Because Chevra, I want you to understand something. Chassidus always describes, let's understand what's happening within us. It's very hard to understand Hashem. We're trying to understand Hashem, but mi basari echazel leka. If we look at our basar, if we look at what's happening in our nefesh, we can learn the Eibishter. So in our nefesh, the chachma, the way it is in the highest level of our neshama, every single person. Are you good at drawing?
No.
I guarantee. I want to tell you something. In your etzem nefesh, you have the potential to draw amazing.
How do you know? How do you know?
That's a fact.
That depends on you have to have a look the whole codage to know that. Like,
No.
To see,
I don't have Ruach HaKodesh.
It's science.
No, you saw that. I'll give you an example. Somebody had underneath the car in an accident.
Yeah, and they have
the guy come and move the car.
Exactly.
And afterward or before that, you ask him to move the car. There's no way in heaven he could move his car. How we got the keches to move the car that moment from where it was?
Maybe it's a nice.
No, it's not nice. So it says also like you have some some people in a fire. Yeah, it's a very good example. That's a very good example. Another example like this road. Let's say sakana. There's a fire when people need to escape through a tiny small window, and they manage to like squeeze themselves out. And if you tell them to squeeze themselves out of the window in a normal situation, there's no way you can do it because you reveal special koiches which you have. Now, usually these
it's called koach hanelam.
Koach hanelam. It's like
but it's nelam.
What says in Tanya, every single yid, even a yid chas v'shalom who's not shomer Torah mitzvahs, lehachis, if he's in a place of the serious nefesh, Rahman litzlan, if a guy's come with mamish with a gun to his head by the Nazis, he's not gonna be able to be disconnected from Hashem. Yesterday he was not being shomer Torah mitzvahs. Why? Because now his etzem Hashem is being revealed.
What are all the people in the people in Spain in the Inquisition?
So it's a good question. It's a good question. Not everyone has this revealed, but you have the potential to have it revealed. So it's a hard thing to reveal. Now it's not able to be revealed. Now I want to just explain myself. What I'm talking about is it exists. I'm saying you have different layers of your neshama. Do you believe me when I tell me that there's a level of your neshama which is connected with Hashem?
If we're talking about myself personally, I can talk about myself personally.
Yeah,
but I can't talk about other people.
Okay, so let's talk about yourself. Do you believe there's a part that you? I mean, this is what we understand. There's a part of you which is a piece of Hashem Himself.
No, that's the whole. You're getting into the whole issue of
yeah,
which is a whole sugya which borders on Kufti Ra Mamash. That's one of the things that the Gra had against Chassidus.
That what?
That they're saying that the neshama is a piece of God, part of God. That is Kufti Ra. God doesn't have any parts there.
That's a very good point. Yes, that's a very good point. Yeah, that you chas v'shalom can't divide Hashem into any parts. Absolutely. And in Chanami, when we're calling a chelek elikah, we're not saying Hashem's part. We just know a better way of describing it. You're Hashem. What?
Describe it as Mahus.
Yeah, you're Mahus of Hashem Himself. Sometimes when we personify, Hashem doesn't have eyes. Also, Hashem doesn't have eyes. Hashem doesn't see. We say Eine avai lekecha. We use
that's true. That's just anthropomorphic language.
Exactly. So the same.
But it's not everyone who says that understands that it's not meant in a physical or fashion.
So also when we say chelek, we don't say that Hashem has got 600,000 different parts, and He's given each one a different part. We say chelek, we mean literally a piece of Hashem. What I'm saying, okay, I'm not going to say a piece of Hashem. It means that not that Hashem created an entity that is separate from him. He inserted himself within us. That's what it means.
Well, you're just playing with words, but you're basically getting down to the same thing. You're making Hashem.
Okay, so we can discuss that afterwards. That's a little bit off our topic, but I would love to have a discussion with you afterwards. It's very important to understand it. What?
This table has a mahus,
Yeah, absolutely.
but it's a lower level than something else. But it has whatever the mahus is necessary for it to be a table. And this chair has a mahus. And the same thing with humans. They have certain mahus that brings them to a certain level that they're called a human. Maybe that's what you should be referring to, as opposed to saying you're using all these terms and they're similar terms, but they're the same? Why does Italian or Chassidus use so many different terms to describe the same particular thing? Is it because of certain levels in the mahus of the Eibishter?
So maybe this one you'll like better. So when Shlomo Melech was given a matana from Hashem to have more chachma, did he become a new person? Where did that chachma come from?
Somewhere it came from outside. Someone you transferred it to him.
The Malach came and taught him.
Excuse me, say it over again.
So what happened was like
somebody
this.
taught you. What did you say?
No, I said that's not no one taught Shlomo. When Shlomo Melech asked for a gift to have chachma given to him,
Yeah.
right? He became chacham mikol adam.
Yeah.
Where did this chachma come from?
God gave it to him.
God gave it to him, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't that someone came and taught him.
Apparently,
So did he need to be reborn? Did he need to be reborn to get this chachma?
No.
No. Why?
They had the you say potential.
So what happened is like this in our neshama, just like a blind person. You understand that a blind person, he has the koach hariyah in his nefesh.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you agree with me on that?
So
Because that's a clear proof that
okay. That's
right.
simple, yeah.
So every single person and his koach hariyah is fully intact.
Okay.
Because otherwise, he wouldn't be able to give birth to a person who's
okay.
able to see, right? So too, our koach hachokhmah in the nefesh, the way it is in the highest level of the nefesh, right? Not the way it is in the brain. But a blind person, in his eyes, he can't see. I'm not talking about the chachma the way it's in your brain. In the highest level of the nefesh, we all have all chachma.
Okay, this already I don't agree with, because you see certain people have certain intellectual potentials that other people don't have.
So just listen. Absolutely, I agree with you. So just listen what happens, right? Right? The same way, some people are able to see better than others. I have glasses, +5. He's maybe +4. He doesn't have glasses. You don't have glasses. Why is that? There's differences, right?
Yeah.
But in the nefesh, in the koach hariyah, in the nefesh, we all have the same ability to see, right? Let's talk about koach hariyah. Do you agree with me?
I'm not so sure about that.
So then how does a blind person give birth to a person?
No, just the basic ability to see, that's correct. But even within the ability to see, you might have different amount of results. For instance, some people can see if they're colorblind.
So is those colorblind people, are their kids going to be colorblind?
Maybe. Okay, so what happens? I learned the laws of heredity. So something depends how this person is going to be married.
So I can tell you one thing. I don't know the laws of heredity, but maybe I'm wrong. But I think if both parents are blind or colorblind,
yeah,
the kids are still able to have sight.
it depends. Okay, I can't. If
I'm not going to argue with the professor, but that's what I've been told.
Okay,
Yes,
it's absolutely right. So both parents are blind.
Yeah.
Both parents are colorblind. They can have kids. Now you can tell me whatever you want as a professor. If both parents are blind, that means that they can have kids because the kids come from them, right?
It depends upon the chromosomes, upon the genes that they did of themselves, and that which they inherited from their parents and grandparents.
Okay,
now,
but
just to give you an example, we're talking about color of the hair. Okay,
I'm not talking about color of the hair because I agree with you. Color of the hair, I'm not talking about. If you're comparing color of the hair, then we're not on the same page at all. I'm not talking about color of the hair. Listen to me for a second. I think to try and understand. I know you're a professor, with all due respect, but just I may have your attention for 1 second. Is that the koach hariyah in a blind person, if he is able two blind people able to have a person who's able to see, you can say whatever you want, but it must be that they possess maybe their chromosomes or whatever words you want to use. They possess the koach hariyah to give over to their kids.
Okay, I agree to that.
Oh, even though they can't see.
Yeah.
Oh, so the same thing. Every person, even though this guy is smart and this guy is not smart, just like a person who's colorblind and this guy's got a +4 glasses, doesn't just like a blind person has got the koach hariyah b'shleimus to be able to give it over to his kids, right?
Okay,
That's a
okay, but let's see if you have a person who's mentally retarded.
Yeah.
Is he able to have a son who's going to be an Einstein?
Yes. Yes.
Why not?
He is. He
Like
actually.
Rashoim could have a baby, there will be a tzaddik.
Yes.
And a tzaddik could be a
Yes,
baby that is a
that's
Rosh.
exactly the point. A person who's mentally retarded is able to have a child who's able to be an Einstein. Yes.
I'm sure about that.
Okay, so you can do your research, but that's what it's brought down over here. So, and that's exactly the point. So, if prove me wrong next time we meet, if that's what it is, you're a professor, you can look into it. But apparently, if
A golem made for somebody else.
What you said about the tzaddik or Russia, that depends upon the free will of the person. It's not has nothing to do with what.
So I think so. So that's the point. If a mentally retarded person can give birth to a child who's a chacham, it's because that even the mentally retarded child, he's got the kocham of Hashem. That's why his child is able to be Einstein. The problem is he's mentally retarded. Why? Because the koach of chokhmah which he possesses is so
Tzumtzum.
in other words, mitzumtzum, it's so deep in his nefesh that it's not revealed in his actual brain. It's like the person who can't see.
He's blind. He's
He's blind.
He has a body, but the body.
He's mentally retarded.
Part of the body doesn't work, but
The chachma doesn't go into the body.
Right.
It remains in wherever we don't know what the nefesh is. We don't know what these physical things are, but it remains within the nefesh, right? Why is it that so this is what we're saying. So the first stage, so when the chachma, so you understand that when the chachma comes down into the brain, there are different stages. So it's brought down in the holy books that the first stage is a level called the koach hamaskil, the koach to believe. This is the first stage where the chachma has left its source in the neshama, and it's gone out of the etzem haneshama. It's gone outwards. Now, the second it goes out, it already gets a picture. It's out. It's got its own entity. A person gives birth to a child. The child's got its own qualities, right? So now the chachma comes out. It came from there, but the second it comes out, it's got its own definition, and that's tolei b'mazal. If its definition is going to be that this person is going to be never
boy, a girl, a chacham, or a
a
tipesh.
chacham, a tipesh, mentally retarded, or good at music, good at psychology, whatever it is. Now, in this koach hamaskil, we're going to say this koach hamaskil is what we're going to call now the level of mufle. In mufle, we said there are two compositions. Number one, that it is relatable, and number two, that it is higher than us. Right? Right?
It must be.
Sovev kol almin. The thing which is mufla, on the one hand, I can understand it a little bit. I can know of its existence. Something in a box, right? An unknown item in a box.
I know it's not a car, but I know there's something in the box.
I know there's relatable to me. I know there may be something there, but on the other hand, it's far from me. I don't know what it is. Can't see it. Right? So Sovev kol almin, I can tell that if there's light in this room, must be that there's a source of light, and that's the source of light. So even if I can't see the source of light, must be the light's coming from somewhere. If you walk outside and the sun's and you see its light outside, must be the sun somewhere, even though I don't see it. Maybe it's hiding behind a building, but I know it's there. So Sovev kol almin, if you see that there's mamale, that there's a ha'ara in the world, you know that it exists. So it's relatable. But on the other hand, it is higher than us. This is what we call things. I'm going to read inside. I've been talking a lot, and hopefully we'll get this a little better as we read. Okay, bepratius. Let's read a little more inside. Or bepratius Indian b'chinas mufle. This level, which is mufle, hu b'chinas, it's in the level of chochma shebekeser shenikra chochma stima is in the level of the koach hamaskil. Until now, we said it's the level of sobev kolomin, but now we're going to say that it is the level of koach hamaskil. Why? Dehine pele otiot aleph. What is aleph? The aleph is the lashon ulfana velimud. Comes from teaching. Shezeu bechinat chochma, like it stirs in the Gemara in Shabbos. Gemara Rezal Shabbos Kuf Daled, Amud Kuf Daled, that he says aleph beis. The Gemara brings all different like interesting things. You learn that from whole aleph beis. So when the Tana says that aleph beis means aleph bina. Now, what does aleph mean? Aleph means to teach. Aleph chochma, aleph chabina. So aleph bina means shachachma melamedet et abina. Uchma shekasav be Magen David leharad ba'azal. The aleph lamed also means to teach, right? Lamed.
Lamed, yeah.
Shneim lashon ulfana v'limud. Ve'aleph hu ma shachachma melamedet et abina. Ve'lamed zeu ma shehabina melamedet et amidot. Okay, so what we're trying to say is like this. Chochma, in general, teaches. Okay, we're going to go into a whole discussion now, talking about Chochma, not Koach HaMaskil. So Koach HaMaskil is the way the Chochma, the way it's left, the Etzem HaNefesh, and it's got a tzir. But it's not the Chochma the way it's in your brain. The level afterwards is Chochma the way it's in your brain. Now, what is Chochma? Does everybody know what's the difference between Chochma and Bina? You know what? Have you ever learned?
Chochmah is just the knowledge.
The lightning bolt.
Yeah, and Bina is the understanding of it.
Exactly. So let's say that again. So let's say a person's carving and learning, and he can't understand something, and they're reading it again and again, and they're thinking about it, and they're going, and Mirz Hashem said the most gewaldige thing to happen to us. I'm sure it's happened to everybody when you really harven in learning. And then finally,
You got it.
That's the Barakah Mavrik, okay? But you need to process it.
It's still chokhmah. It's not
It's
coming down.
only a lightning bolt. You have an idea, but I need to explain it. And then you sometimes explain it to your chabrusa, and then he slaps you in the face and he says, no, you can't say that. And then you digest it. That's the bina. You build it. You take the chokhmah, you always come back to it, and you build it. So that is chokhmah. So all we're going to say is like this, friends. Aleph. So Pele now, the level of mufle, we've now subdivided that it means two things. Mufle means Pele, wondrous. Wondrous means it is removed. It is high. But Pele also means Aleph. Aleph means to teach. Means I'm close. Relation. So these are the two things that Mufla has. That it's Aleph, it's relatable. And on the other hand, at the same time, it is Pele. So we're going to eventually get to, Mirz Hashem, that Koach HaMaskil has got both components. We're not explaining that yet. We'll explain that afterwards. But before we explain that, we're going to explain why Chachma is teaching. Let's read inside. So we're talking about Chachma. What's this teaching that Chachma does? Chachma teaches Bina. Al derech mashal berav melamed talmidai. A teacher teaching a student. A real Rav. I'm not talking about a real Rav who's a Gadol B'Torah. He already understands in a much higher level than the student. He explains to him a Seichel Amak, which the student was never able to get to. So the first thing of teaching is giving a davar chadash. Is that clear? Rabbi Shanowitz, is that clear? The second thing of teaching, gam inyan alimud. Who? Everybody see the place? Line. Yeah. Gam inyan alimud hu shamamidai al derech ha'emetz shelo yipol betos b'sheker. Hein b'ha'inyan shelo imed imoy sheyeda es hasvara la'mitasa v'lo yiteba. Right? ובדרך כלל מלמדו יליקח כל עניין לפי האמיתי שלו, נמן העניין גלייך ונאמס, שזהו מקור עיתונאי הלימוד, שהרי כשנופל בתאוסים אין זה לימוד כלל, כי אם צריך להיות הכל כפי אמס חולו. The teacher, not only does he need to teach students at דבר חידוש, he needs to make sure that the students won't take the דבר חידוש and make it into a krumas svara. they'll totally take it in the wrong way. He needs to teach them the Dvar Emes and guide them to know it al derech ha'emes without any
So
mishaps.
what the teacher give the Talmud? He give him chokhmah, he give him sechel, or he give him to.
So he gives the
We
main
teach
thing.
him how to walk.
Yeah,
And then after you know how to walk straight. Walk. Show him the right path.
so it's nothing new. The first thing is something new.
The path was there. It's just showing them which is the right path.
It's more giving him a railing.
A railing.
I would say like that.
Okay.
Yeah, teaching him how to walk and then putting a railing so he doesn't fall.
Right.
That's the second
So
thing.
the chokhmah from the Rav is to know how to put the right.
So this is teaching in general. We're going to say what Chokhmah does to Bina in a second, but this is teaching in general. Whenever you're teaching something, a Rav teaches the Talmud, he teaches him Davar Chadash, number one.
That he should know how to think right. Should know how to understand.
So that's the second thing. So first,
that's the second.
So first thing he gives him a new svara. He teaches him something new.
Okay.
Something he never knew before.
Right.
He teaches him something new. After he teaches him something new, he now needs to make sure that this new thing that he taught him
should not use it.
Won't. Yeah, he shouldn't take it at the wrong place. He shouldn't misunderstand it. He should understand it al pi ha'emes. Okay,
that's already
that's the second thing. And the third thing is that he should make sure that the Talmud will remember it. Like the Tanoim, we're going to bring in a second, learned with their Talmidim 400 times. The same thing. That's it. Another requirement of teaching. Then when you give
a remez or you give a simon, the Gemara many times says simon, there's this.
Yeah.
Then simon, I'm giving you a simon so you know. Like I say, go up there, oh, you see the sign, here you make a right. So I can't give you a memory, you have to have your own memory. But I'm giving you a sign to have a memory.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not in his hand.
So that's one. The Rav is giving him one thing, really. He's giving him a davar chadash.
Okay.
But while he's teaching him, a good teacher will also, while he's teaching him, give him tools that he shouldn't be straight off in the wrong way. And when he's teaching him, he'll give him guidelines together with this thing he's teaching him that he shouldn't take the svara. It's like people say Israel is doing genocide. It's taking a dvar seichel and it's making it totally krum. Totally.
Using the seichel for the wrong thing.
There's no rails.
Right.
There's no MS in it. Right? It's not a new seichel, but it's knowing how to, it's a chush in knowing how to teach that they don't take the seichel in the wrong way.
Right.
Okay? And the third.
The rabbis know that to do this. I was going to Rav Yeshiva. It was a cesspool for guys who didn't have jobs. They didn't know. So maybe 3 teachers actually have that koyach.
Sorry to hear that, okay? And the third thing of a teacher is that he should be able to stick it in so he should be able to stick into the student that he shouldn't forget what he wants. Lehashpia, to be mashpia. He should repeat himself a few times. To the extent that it's really understood within the Talmud. Says in the Gemara in Eruvin, Reb Freida Lamad in Talmidoi Arba Me'ois Pamim for 400 times. Can you imagine? You Nimaskal. No, you make sure to do it. Okay.
Afraid I have only one. That's not good.
So this is the idea also. So that's teaching in general. So this is what Chachma does to Bina also. So let's say it outside. Chachma, in a sense, is teaching Bina. Why is it teaching Bina? Because an example we gave of the Barak HaMavrik. The Barak HaMavrik comes. Now, the Bina uses...
You have to develop it.
That's the new idea that it's received. So that's the Davar Chadash. Now, the Davar Chadash that the Bina receives, Chachma is also able to guide it to Derech HaEmes. It's like you have the Gemara and the Mishnah. So the Gemara, the Mishnah is like a Barak HaMavrik. It's the Kitzer.
You can say Allah is on
It's a Bekitzer Nimrod. But then the Gemara comes and gives a lot of lengthy explanations. And then eventually, sometimes the Gemara says something, but the Gemara says, no, that's not true, because the Mishnah says, the Mishnah is a guide point. It's a staff pole. It's like a railing that you shouldn't go the wrong way.
Rachem, we need 10 people. Don't go away.
How many?
Only one.
We're 7 over here, I see, no?
Yeah. You count, yeah.
Don't go. Don't go. Somebody upstairs, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You share the kind of stuff.
couple more minutes, please, Menachem. We'll give you something to make a bracha.
I need my bed.
Candy.
Candy.
We'll give you a chokhmah. We'll give you a memory, more than that. Memory. How you teach somebody to have a memory? By chazering again and again and again. By telephone, you could buy a memory card.
Yeah.
But I wrote to a student, how did you give him push a memory? It's very hard to understand.
So what are we doing? We'll continue until we get a minion, or what's the story
A couple
exactly?
more minutes, yeah.
Okay.
1 o'clock at least.
Mirza Hashem will learn with the Chayas and we'll get a minion. Right?
Amen.
So let's read it inside. Vaduk, when we call it Yuvan.
And it's open as well.
15, as well from Ashur Chachma Melamed Sabino. Aleph, the first thing that it does, number 1, is Lamid al Derech HaEmes. Chachma makes sure that Bina goes according to the right way. Who in the Chachma is Beriru. So the term brought that the Birurim happen through Chachma. Let me explain what we'll read further. The Koach HaBirur b'vchinas Nekudas HaChachma Dafka. Darimakam HaBirur b'Bina. But okay. Did everybody know what birur is over here? What we're talking about? So birur is when you fully understand the item. When you have the idea of the Barak HaMavrik, it's not clear yet. Birur means to investigate. Levarel, a birur, right? So bina is the koach which truly digests and investigates. So the birur actually takes place. Makom birur is in bina, but the koach birur, the koach to do the investigation correctly and according to the MS, like a Mishnah, the Mishnah gives the koach for the Gemara to come to the right conclusions. So to Chachma is the koach habirur. Okay, adua the iyun hu makom habirur. The inyan ha'iyun hu levarer kol davar eich umal b'ofen kach v'chach. Iyun, real understanding deeply, is to understand everything in a certain way. But labna we call to remove all bad things which are not there, to understand it clearly. Amnam ikar habirur b'koach nekudas haskala, but the main birur happens using the koach of the haskala, of the koach of Chachma. You always need to go back to the Nakuda of the Seichel. He's not going to come to any mistakes that way. So we're 8 now. Oh, he left.
So it's not, it's just smoking outside.
Oh, smoking.
1 second, somebody upstairs.
With family of them.
Okay, so just write down 10 number. Maybe across the street will come. What's his name? He's loaning Chassidus every night over here, 10 o'clock. Really?
Yeah.
מי שמורגש אצלנו נקודת ההשכלה.
ומי שמורגש מאיר אצלנו נקודת ההשכלה, as a person who actually feels the נקודת ההשכלה is going to automatically come to the inyan of derech haemes.
How do you know that this is emes?
What?
How do you know that by learning that?
I want to give you a mashal to explain this.
Great.
You know, when the Lubavitcher Rebbe sent shluchim out in the 70s and the 60s to Texas or to South Africa, my parents were, where there was no Shomer Torah mitzvahs, people were very upset. They were like, how is this person supposed to be able to
raise kids
and be Shomer Torah mitzvahs in an environment, right?
Nothing there.
Al Tischaber, Shachin Toiv. There's no Shachin Toiv. So the Nakuda the Rebbe explains is that if they're connected to the Mishaleach, which is the Rebbe, they're connected to the Torah, they're connected to the Koyach HaKdusha, that is going to guarantee they're connected to the Mishaleach and they constantly work on themselves. That is going to guarantee that even if they're in their place where they're actually doing the birur, there's also a birur. They're lifting up the place. That's going to guarantee that it's going to be b'derech ha'emes. And that's exactly what the line we just said. A person, and the same thing as the Chachma, a person who is margish, or meir etzlo, nekudas haskala. When you're understanding that Gemara, you feel that Barak HaMavrik, and when you understand the Seichel and you're trying to work through it, you always go back to the Barak HaMavrik. If you feel it, you're gonna come to the real completed picture much quicker and better without reading. That's what we're saying. Move on.
No, sorry. I'm trying to understand what make me to feel the MS because it's the Torah, because I'm connected to Mishalech, because I'm connected to the Torah, what is MS?
So no, so Mishalech was just a mashal of more begashmis, but in limud,
In Limud.
in
Yeah.
limud,
What's
if the Gemara, if
my svor is the right svor.
let me give it a
That
mashal.
it's the right
The Mishnah gives a starts off Shar Shanagech Safara Vim Savara Betzida, right? Shnai Meichas in Metalis, whatever. So now the Gemara starts off a discussion. You started off. They gave you like a starting point. So the Gemara gets in a whole dialogue. Now they get taken away to all different places.
Right.
If they don't remember the Mishnah, they forget the Mishnah. It could take
You
hours.
get lost.
You can get lost,
Right.
and they can even come to a maskana, which is maybe not according to the Mishnah. The Gemara
Right.
doesn't do that
Right.
because it's al derech emes, because it never forgets. In all the discussions, in all the arichas of the Gemara, it's always connected, and it always remembers everything that's written in the Mishnah. And the second anyone says anything that doesn't go according to the Mishnah, even if it's a few dafim later, but the Mishnah doesn't say this way,
Right.
or there's another Mishnah that doesn't say this way. That's what it means that
The
if you
rest of the Mishnah, the simple of the Mishnah.
Yeah.
Get back and forth.
if you're mayor etzlo in the kudas haskala, so in the terms of chachma teaching bina, if you always feel and get connected to the barak hamavrik,
So the Yom Mela Eleni and the Chemes.
yeah. So when you now work with the seichel, you're going to come in derech emes with that. It's like if I teach you to walk, if you feel the railing next to you, so you're going to walk without falling. Mamela, you're going to walk without falling because you've got a railing. But if you walk and there's no railing, you don't, whatever, there's no rail, if there's no railing there, so you may fall. So if you have bina, but you always remember the chachma, you feel the chachma where you came from, you feel the barak hamabrik or the mishnah, the Gemara feels the mishnah.
Truly feel it, not always you feel it. It's avoided.
That's an avodah, yeah.
say
You
400
always
times to
you
know.
always need to remember, right? I mean, honestly, I don't know how often it happens to I'm saying like Brit Hashem, most of us when we were in yeshiva, or I mean, hopefully this is something supposed to be every day, but like really harving in Torah, having this idea of the Barak HaMavrik to a daily basis to a person, like in this context of understanding.
Like when you said before, I was thinking, we learn Chita this week. Yaakov Avinu says, "Achen noda yesh Hashem b'makom ha'or."
Yeah. Okay.
The Abba is everywhere. Now his discovery is here. The Bora Mark is Ken.
No, yeah, but now you need to find the answer.
Fine, no, but the point is that
Yeah, you start thinking.
1 second.
Where are we holding our permission? You went to call someone or? Post. With the Chiur?
Yeah, he's here, and we went to this for one. There's no telephone.
Okay.
ולא ייתן לו אילום.
ולא ייתן לו אילום.
Once you connect to the MS, then you're not going to make a mistake.
Okay, בעניין הזיכרון זהו בחינת הקליטה במכין. So I'm gonna, just read this through this a little bit quicker because
This also I don't understand. How the law give the Talmud the koach hazikaron? How could you give somebody zikaron? This is something you have to do on yourself.
So do you know what he does? He can teach it to him 400 times.
Alfredo.
That's what they're afraid to do. You can teach it to him a lot of chazara.
Or give him simonim, like a moshel.
Yeah, but ultimately it's dependent on the Talmud.
Fully
If the Talmud blocks his ears,
Yeah.
and he's not going to get it. But the Rab needs to do whatever he can.
It's a lotion, Akop can interruption.
Can
I cannot give you a seichel, but I could guide you to the water.
Yes.
I cannot make the host to drink the water, but I could bring it to the water.
Exactly.
So the role to teach us the Talmud how to remember.
He can't teach. Yeah, he can. Oh, simonim or teach him many times.
Till you understand.
Or encourage him to do chazara.
All right. So he teaching him by making chazor, then you will understand. If you didn't understand it the first time, go again. But to you have it. You just have to practice. So some kid, like you said, is a genius. At age 6, you already know how to drawing and everything. And we the chachomim looking at this. That's what he meant in the picture. It took us time to understand what this little kid just like that. Without chazor, without anything.
Yeah, exactly.
because he's more revealed to the Chokhmah, like inside and inside.
Because your Koyach HaMaskil grows, by the way.
His Koach HaMaskil
A
is
child's Koyach HaMaskil, it's exactly.
he is going.
As at Yom, there's a pasuk that says,
Yomim
Yomim Yidabru V'Roiv Shani Medio Chachmos.
right.
Maybe not Medai.
מה שלא עושה השכל עושה הזמן.
The pasuk says you come smarter when you get older.
The more you learn, the smarter you get. It's not like,
but also like a child is able to understand. His chachma is not as developed as a person. Yeah, so you want to say something?
Yeah, they have a test. You see the student learning day and night, and some student doesn't learn at all, and he get the better than everybody else. What's that?
So the answer is his koach hamaskil is much better.
Very high.
Very high, yes. He's got his mazel was bigger than his.
It's like
Shlomo HaMelech, if you would learn something, keep saying
you have a small car.
He just looked at it and
whatever. Yeah, he would speak the language of the birds. I don't know. He would know. You
need to move. You need to move 500 boxes from point A to point B. You have a car that will take 20 boxes, right? So it will take you 20 times to go back and forth. But if you have a truck in one shot, you move it. This kid is a truck in one shot. Boom, he learned it. He heard once, that's it. He doesn't need to. Doesn't need to repeat. He read from ear to ear. One time he read it, it's already in his memory. That's a genius is. Asiri Kodesh, thank you so much. Really, kol hakavod.
Okay, Yasher Koyach, everybody.
He's the other guy. He's coming down. Very tough.
Do I end this?
Thank you so much.
Do I end this or do I continue this? Do you want me to end this?
Shut it. Please.
Oh, Stephen,
Jonathan Davis, Stephen Blumkin, MH, and iPhone.
they have one from Florida.
Did anybody understand over here?
Yes.
Good. Atzlacha Rabbe.
I mean, so someone see something. Hope to meet you sooner, Rabbi.
Is because the Rav explained good or because the Talmidim